Hi, Aries. This is your homework family reading for for July 16th through the 31st. All Aries signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Sorry, Spirit was talking to me as I was doing that. You guys are seriously in your masculine energy. Seriously in your masculine energy. Some people are dealing with relationships, and some people really are dealing with some open enemies. Yeah. I feel very aggressive. I feel very aggressive, very much in your fire, your masculine aggression, action energies. However, some of you are worried about your reputation. So you're not necessarily acting it out right. Or you're not actually bringing it to the surface. I do feel like you're going to be dealing with the heart chakra and the throat chakra, which makes a lot of sense because of Mercury being in retrograde. I feel like a lot of pressure on the head. Some of you are dealing with situations that you feel you've been served a big plate of injustice. You're trying to figure out how to either deal with it, work through it, leave it, figure it out. Something along that line. And either find a new healthy way or just let me deliver you your ass and tell you how it really is. I feel like you're trying to overcome something. I feel like in a sense for some of you, and I'm not connecting with everybody, this is a certain group, but some of you feel like you've been in quicksand and like you're just trying to keep your head above the sand and you're exhausting yourself and you're really not getting anywhere. And that's because you're actually having a blockage, which is what Spirit gives me. For some of you, that's within your community and it's blocking your goals. Alright, before I get into everything else, Spirit says, first off, Spirit gives me an owl. An owl goes back and forth in realms, in the darkness. So it's sifting through some darkness, getting wisdom, getting truth, getting a higher level of knowledge. And this is a very positive thing for you, even though some of these energies right now may really feel like they're not positive. It's what's supposed to be happening to get you there. To help, like I keep saying, to get you on the fence so that you get yourself going in the right direction. So some of this, it feels like a kettle getting ready to boil over. And it's like it's being pushed upon you because only you can make the free will choice that will help you. So will you make it? And you're getting a lot of this information if you connect with the owl is able to help you. Look up the owl medicine if you need to. I'm also being given the wolf, and this is bringing it more into a physical level. The wolf is giving me himself howling, and for me on my shamanic level, when the wolf is howling, this is more like cutting cords. But on so much more of a level of the idea of cutting cords, or how we imagine ourselves cutting cords, or do a meditation, or calling on an angel to help cut cords. I'm not saying that that stuff doesn't work, but when I do my shamanic work and the wolf howls, he's able to look back and go, see, we ain't attached anymore. Period. He will howl at such a higher vibration that it dissolves the cord. It's not cutting it anymore. It no longer exists, is what I'm being told. And he's saying that this is something that some of you need to do in the physical for your own health. Because he's definitely bringing it to me in a physical way. And he looks back to be like, are you getting this message? Is what I'm getting. Now, The other thing is when I was doing my meditation and my journeying before I went into Aries and started the video, what I was asking for knowledge for you, I was given Knez. And I was given it both ways, but it is meant to be the correct way. So I'm going to explain what it is. Knez, when I put it up to it, it's actually turning the wrong way. Because the way it should be looking like a Pac-Man. See how it looks like it's going the wrong way? That's just because I have it up to the screen. But technically, going the right way, Knez is telling you to marriage this energy to yourself as you find healing and move forward. Knez is the torch. The torch. It's the torch. It's the craft. It can be cunning. It is fire. It is how you manifest properly. It is the manifestation, whether you acknowledge that you're doing it right or not. It is the character, and it is personality. It is the matters of creativity and the craft itself. And in this case, I feel like the craft is you, the vessel, and the true soulfulness of getting to your own inner fire. It can show you where it is out of balance and where it's in complete balance. It can show you where the out of balance is causing you to be blocked. But it speaks to you of your natural ability through skills and effort of being able to do so. It is the presence of someone who is skilled in craft work in general for men, women, and children. It is the symbol of the skill. But it speaks to you of igniting the skill, lighting it, turning it on, kindling the fire. It is the vision and the ability of being able, the revelation of being able to do it. It speaks to you of the creativity expressed in form. Controls us in our inspiration, our knowledge, and our capabilities. Is also the craft guide. I mean, it's craft skills, craft guides, and analysis. It is a forge of our own human endeavors. It speaks to you of shaping and reshaping the present, but it also speaks to us of transmutation through fire. And with it being this kind of a skill, transmutation through fire, the energy of fire, it also brings us to children or sexual energy. And what I mean by that is children are of you. Children were created of you, of your passion. So they are part of you. Of course, they are part of your creativity. They are part of this energy. But if you're not dealing with your children in this energy, it is dealing with what is your true fire, your true desire, your true passion, and that can lead to your sexual energy, as well as how you feel about yourself in the sacral chakra and the solar plexus. So this could be rebalancing on a whole level for you, from top to bottom. But when Knez is out of balance, you have the blockages. You have a stoppage of getting into your inner fires. This is what I mean by feeling like you're in quicksand. If you're constantly trying to keep your head above the sand and breathe because you're doing too many things, well, how are you ever going to connect with your inner fire, your inner desire, your inner soul flame? You don't have time to. And because you don't have time to, and you're not making time to, is exactly why you're blocked. It speaks to you of learning the craft of you, experiencing it, and allowing you to learn the very skill of you by getting to understand the knowledge and personality and manifestation and character of who and what you are, and correct where you may not like certain pieces. Heal it is really what that is coming down to. It makes sense when I get into the astrology, because I have been saying for a while now that Aries, the Aries sign in general, has Chiron in it, which is in retrograde right now. And it has who I keep calling Medusa, which is Eris. So this is trouble, toil, strife, injustice in general. Chiron's the wounded healer, backing up, going, okay, we're in Aries. This is a brand new sign. This is the very beginning sign. This is the alpha sign. This is where we start. What have I messed up on? Let me take a breather. Let me step back. Let me see where I've kind of overlooked some situations, because obviously I got to fix them. And Eris is pointing all those fingers at the trouble, toil, strife, and the injustice that you've been served, that you have not gotten healed. You haven't been able to be given that justice because the healing hasn't been made. This is taking place in your very self-worth. Your self-awareness, your personal body, your personality, your appearance, your view of life in general, your core energies, your identification in the very image of who and what you are, as well as the image of how you see yourself and how others see you. So right now you're kind of in that inner fight with self about that self-awareness. And where are those injustices, those trouble, toil, strife situations keeping you from truly allowing your true soul fire to manifest and grow into a beautiful thing? Where are you holding on to that resentment? And where is that resentment keeping you from manifesting what you want? And where are you coming into a self-awareness of it? That's a big key right there. Because with those two energies, it's a very powerful situation. It's a brand new beginning. And for you all feel things a little bit more, okay? Because I say when I do like the weekly healing messages, I do it from a universal standpoint. But you are the universal standpoint. Aries, it's the first house. So for you, your chart is like doubled. The strength of it is doubled, because the rest of us can view it from a universal standpoint, but you don't ever get to get out of it, at least as far as whichever sign it is that's in Aries. Okay, with that being said, you have the full moon and lunar eclipse taking place on the 16th. Okay, first off, this for you is the universal 10th house. This is where your honor, your reputation, your prestige, your professional career, your financial success, the outer community that deals with that financial success. It is where the responsibilities, the duty, and the authority of that outer community are. With rules, walls, boundaries, which is Saturn here, reevaluating what is the proper limitations and withholdings. Rules, walls, boundaries. Where do we need to shift this? Because it's not soulfully, totally complementing our soul. Complementing that self-awareness. Complementing the root of who and what you are. The home that is, you can't get away from this. Because it's sitting on the North Node. This is why I say right off the bat, not the North Node, the South Node. There's something about that outer community, that financial world, the reputation, the prestige, the professional career, and the community that goes with it. Something about the responsibility and the authority and the duty in general of it that doesn't resonate with your soul being. And it's time to start tweaking it so that it better does. And if it's a situation you cannot change, it may have to do with how you address it. There's always a positive and a negative. Just like there's negative people out there, that doesn't mean you have to be part of their conversation. You see what I'm saying? But because of that South Node there, it is directly across from your universal 4th house, which is your inner emotional security, and it is fighting the upbringing, the true self, the true roots, the personal foundations, the family, getting that connection with your personal inner child, that inner creativity that we were talking about. This is where the karmic lessons are learned, and the reincarnation of getting to a deeper level of the roots of self and inner emotional security is made. The North Node is here, trying to force you to see what you have to learn in order to move forward. Trying to go back to that day. Is also speaking with Venus. So something on this day during the lunar eclipse, and this energy has been going on for a while. It's not going to change. It's just going to heighten because of the lunar eclipse and the full moon. But Venus is here already heightening it. Okay, Venus is already bringing extra sensitivity to the things that are very good and the things that are very wrong. Okay, making sure that you comprehend which ones serve you and which ones don't. And then, how is that addressing that outer community? And right there speaks to you of what the whole lunar eclipse is about, and that full moon. It may be dealing with things from 7 years ago, from like 12 years ago, from a little over 30 years ago, like 35 years ago. I mean, things might be coming up, rearing its ugly head. Like I said, you've got Aries, which is Medusa, in your first house with Chiron, trying to go back over some of these situations, these bad habits, addictions, patterns that we've created over time that we thought served us, but they don't. And in order for us to learn that they don't serve us, we have to see where it is that they quit serving us, or where we're misinformed the whole time and we've been giving ourselves a disservice. On the very same day as that lunar eclipse, you have Ceres in Sagittarius coming out of retrograde, starting to move towards Jupiter. This is your universal ninth house. I say with Jupiter being there, this is your higher self. This is where your higher self speaks to you about your psychic energy, your higher mind, your wisdom. It's the rituals. It's your psychic journeying, your psychic abilities, but it's also philosophy, religion, it's ethics, morals, spiritual urges. It's where the dreams and the higher education also speaks to you from that other realm. Ceres being here, coming out of retrograde, moving towards Jupiter, is bringing one of two things. This depends on where you are on your path. It is bringing extra nurturing energy because Ceres is mothering. It's a planet of nurturing. It's seen like Mother Earth and in general, in an idea. Because she also deals with plant and gardening. But she is considered the threefold theory. She is the karmic return. She is bringing positive, nurturing things to you when you are coming and using her. And Jupiter's higher knowledge, speaking to that higher self of a nurturing existence, coming from a higher vibration. But if you can't reach that higher vibration because of that crap going on with Medusa and Chiron that you're shifting through, that's not working for you, then that nurturing energy turns into the lack of it and starts speaking to you of the lack of self-worth, the lack where you have self-doubt, lack of self-esteem. This speaks to you of eating disorders. This speaks to you of child neglect in general. This speaks to you of, child support. Anything that would go against nurturing you and go the opposite direction, if you are not in a healthy way of communicating with yourself and letting your heart help you to communicate with your head and unblock these energies, for some of you, it's going to be talking to you of where things are not nurturing you. But the reason it's doing that is to show you what needs to change so that you can properly nurture yourself or give the proper forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about other people. Forgiveness is because you deserve it. But their issue and what they did is another thing. If you're in a healthy place and moving forward, because you are the brand new beginning, it's an Aries sign. then this is bringing a brand new nurturing to that higher self. Either way, in the long run, it's bringing a higher nurturing to getting to a deeper connection of your higher self, your higher soulful self, as well as your psychic energy. But it may be coming in from a negative point of view because it's forcing you to see it. On the 22nd, the 23rd, and the 24th, in general, you need to realize the moon is in Aries. So you're over emotional right then. You're even more quick to tell it like it is. You're even more quick to be like, me first energy. You're even more quick to be like, let me start this and then I'm bored and I'm off to this. I mean, your emotions in Aries are very, scattered. Very go, go, go. And not necessarily finish what you started. On the 19th, though, is when Mercury, which is in retrograde, leaves Leo and goes back into Cancer. This is speaking to you of that 5th house going back into the 4th house. So it's going up until the 19th. Mercury in retrograde is speaking to you of your soul fire, for one, because it'll be already hooked up with Vista. So it will be speaking to you of, no, it's speaking to Palace. So it's strategically thinking, how can you recreate what makes you happy? Your pursuit of pleasure, how it is you enjoy life, and what parts of life are you not enjoying, and what do you have to tweak, change, shift, make new rules, walls, and boundaries in order to get to where you are enjoying life, to where you are allowing your creativity to bloom and bring out of you whatever it is that your creativity was meant to, as well as connect with that childlike self of you, your inner child, so that it helps you to have that creativity. This is why, like I said, you had Kinez. It's important for you to stay in balance, because without finding that balance, then you can't connect with what it is truly pleasurable for you, and how to how to use your creativity to bring it up and out of you. And as you figure that out, you have up until the 19th when it starts to come back and cross the sun and cross Venus and go into Cancer. Going right back into your inner emotional security, into the roots of who and what you are, the true self, how you can reincarnate this, the karmic lessons that kept you from being able to create this. This is teaching you about yourself on a level that will help you actually re-steer and redirect your creativity so you can manifest in a more healthy way of what it is you truly want. But will you do the work? And they say you need to listen to your spiritual urges. On the 22nd, the sun enters Leo, bringing more illumination into that creative house, as well as where your inner child is. Like I said, this also is dealing with dating, sex, hobbies, anything that is a creative expression. And it is going to be on the 27th, Venus is moving in to Leo as well, bringing the sensitivities of helping you know exactly what you do like and what you don't, and why you like what you do and why you don't, to help you figure out how to create a new level of enjoyment and actually use that creativity to launch you wherever it is you're trying to go. But by learning through that inner emotional security of believing in yourself, your true self, so that you can reincarnate and lose those karmic lessons because you actually learned them. And then on the last day of the month is a new moon, again in Cancer, void of course, to Leo. So it's going right back again to that inner emotional security and the pursuit of pleasure and how you find and create your enjoyment of life. It starts off the full moon, new moon, sorry, not full moon. The new moon is the second moon in this month. second new moon in this month taking place in Cancer. As well as, like I said, the first day is partially in Cancer, then there's always the 3 days of the full moon. Then we're also going into, Leo. So that brings extra emotional energy, drama, compassion, nesting, and needing love into this energy around the same time. So, I feel like this is definitely a healing energy for you. I feel like it's a second chance at a second chance. Like I said, Chiron is in that universal first house. So is Eris, pointing out where you're still holding on to the trouble, toil, or strife of the injustice. And Chiron's trying to back up and go, okay, where did I not quite set this whole new cycle quite right? And it's his second chance of evaluating how he has to tweak it so that you can start really moving towards everything you desire. But you have to be willing to do the work. Yeah. Let's see what cards have to say. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. They're saying you need to have courage as well. I feel like this is courage within self. Not courage to just boldly go out and state whatever the hell you got to state. I feel like courage, trust in the courage within yourself. You have the Six of Pentacles. This is also speaking to you of your solar plexus, of believing in that I can energy. This is balancing and finding harmony. This is what we were saying the whole time. This is the Empress, the sacral chakra. She is the oracle thinker. I call her the oracle thinker because she's not quite the oracle. She's like the apprentice of the oracle. The apprentice of the priestess. She's got all of the... She's got the sword, she's got the cups, she's got all of the pentacles, she has everything. She's learned everything. The only thing she hasn't learned is how to be one with her magic 100%. That's where the priestess has her. The priestess has come into everything already and has completely come into a oneness where she is still ascending. She's still growing and maturing and understands, love, understands wisdom, understands, all of this. She didn't get here by not doing her work, and she knows her value. Harmony and balance. I know my value in the oracle thinker. Like I said, the only difference there is she's not quite the priestess, meaning she's still maybe in her head a little too much. A little too much. Okay? But she definitely knows her worth, and she will not take less than her worth as... It's like they say, if I know how I'm supposed to be treated, and if you're not treating me right, then we won't be talking, more or less. She's this kind of person. She knows how to do this. She knows how to handle herself and be responsible and take on everything. But she also has harmony and balance, and this is why she's the Empress. This is why she's risen so high. This is what they're telling you. Which is also the sacral chakra. How you feel about yourself, the Empress says. This is also the sacral chakra. This is the Six of Wands. This is having self-confidence. Like I said, how you feel about yourself. And then being able to process the situation and move forward. So, this is balance yourself. Claim your worth. Move forward. Have confidence. Move forward. Believe in that sacral chakra and your solar plexus. Period. I am, and I can. And I feel it, so I know, therefore I am. Okay? This is a past life deck. Every once in a while, I get the call to pull a past life deck. On the past life decks, it's not necessarily about past life. For some of you, it might be, but it's usually, if I'm being called in this form to pull from the past life deck, it's because there's something here that these other cards just are not going to say. And for that reason, they have me pull it. Orphan. You are never away from the oneness. Ever. Only your misguidance of believing is away from the oneness. You may have been abandoned, you may have been left behind in the past. You may be right now even in a situation where you feel like you've been abandoned and left behind. But the point is you're never alone. You're never alone. And if you believe in your higher self, you believe in the connection of spirit, you believe in all of this, then you can get right with it. And you can know that just because in this world you got dealt a bad hand, that had to do with strength, honey. And for whatever reason, it was meant for you to get that strength. Wow. Some of you are definitely having some family relationship issues. And it was the first thing Spirit said, said relationship and open enemies. Because I was first off given male and female. This is not having a balance. This is being out of balance, whether it's because it's within yourself, within your masculine and your feminine. Some of you, it may be, fighting yourself within your masculine and your feminine, your soulful self and your aggressive self. Some of you may be coming into trying to find that balance, but some of them, and maybe there's an out of balance within a relationship that's left you feeling off. And most certainly so, it's because the action, the aggression, the passion of the masculine energy is either lacking or overpowering. Because in some of these cases, it's dealing with a spouse situation that left you, like I said, the very first one was orphan, left you to give up on it all. For some of you, this is where they're saying some of you are, and I was just given a fox, which means you have everything you need to move you forward in every shape of the way, including connecting it with cutting energy that can take you in a negative way. What will you do with it? That's why they say it's forgiveness, hon. You don't forgive for them. You forgive for you. Some of this is simply understanding a karmic relationship is not going to serve you. The only way a karmic relationship is going to serve you is to learn the lesson. Again, Father, the masculine energy, is to move forward, is to understand if more or less it's overpowering you, and what you need to do to heal it, separate it, and let it go. Okay, we're not doing if, like, certain states, or not states, but places within the world come up. I don't do them in these. Is there anything else here? Or do you think we got that for the most part? For Aries. There's definitely some open enemies within the relationship. Or maybe they're about to become the open enemy. And you need to see the truth behind the situation. And is that masculine energy yours? Is it serving you? Or is it ripping the situation apart? Are you being steamrolled? This is what more or less I'm getting, because it can go either way. Like you said, it's a general reading. Nope. What does Aries need to know? Okay, we're not doing like 6 cards, but we'll shuffle them. What does Aries need to know to help them make it through this energy? What do they need to know or do to help them make it through this energy at this time in the most positive and healthy ways? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Aries sign. No, I'm not taking like 4 or 5 cards. Sorry, I can lower it to 1. Lust. This is speaking to you again. This could be, you know, in a form, this could be, you know, a positive thing. I mean, this is speaking to you about your sacral chakra and your passion, your action, aggression, and truly getting into what you desire. But in the same form, are you allowing your desires to just full-blown steamroll the situation? Because lust can be just as positive as it can be bad. But this is also in a form connected with strength, with the strength card in this deck. So this is telling you to take that passion, take the lust of yourself and life, and then connect it with your inner lion and take you in a positive way, but don't allow it to take you into a negative way. Use strength and caution. Yes, no. Yes, no. Okay. This is the last time I'm shuffling, otherwise I'm switching decks. Thank you. Sometimes if you throw it out there like that, they just say, okay, fine. Realize what it is you do have. This is the 4 of Cups. This is a water, Scorpio, or Pisces sign. The last one was all fire sign. Or if it was connected with, like I said, also the strength card, it could be a Leo in your life. This is restless blessings. It feels like it's not a blessing anymore. You could be getting bored with the situation. The pleasure feels like it's running out. Have strength right now and realize what it is you do have. You don't want to get rid of that is working for you. You don't want to get rid of the truth, but you want to get to the bottom. You don't want to give up the truth of something just in haste because you didn't really truly get to the truth. Acknowledge what you do have. And if what you have is your dignity, that's still what you have. You can't always put it off on somebody else. What was I just saying? Because they're giving you 7 of Wands. This is valor. This is Leo and Mars, or Mars and Leo. This is pick a side. You have to stand for something, or you will fall for anything. And then they are giving me the Sun card. Now, the Sun can be a very positive thing, but it's just like everything else in the world. Free will makes its choice. Because in Hebrew, it's resh, which means it's the blessing or the punishment. And every day you choose to live your life with the idea of you're living the blessing or you're living the punishment. So if you're walking around going, oh, woe is me, and bitching and moaning and complaining about this and complaining about that, then guess what? Manifestation will give you more to fucking complain about. If you're seeing every day as a blessing. Like I was just said in that last card, acknowledge what you do have. Acknowledge what you do have and use it towards a blessing to create that manifestation, getting into your inner emotional security and tell you the direction of what you truly should be doing for yourself. Is there anything else that Cancer needs to know for the second half of the month? I was thrown off as to which deck to go to, because the one I thought that they were calling, turns out I was wrong. It was the other one. What does Cancer, what does Aries need to know to move them forward or to help them understand. Pull it all together. What is it that Aries needs to know for the second half of July? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Aries. Harmony. Music and harmony. Take time to celebrate yourself. Take time to celebrate life. Take time for enjoyment. If you don't enjoy you, sure as hell nobody else is ever going to. Take the time for the vision quest. Take time to get away from everybody else. A vision quest is when you do like an open-eyed meditation. Instead of closing your eyes, you take yourself like to the park, and you're more or less doing a meditation, but with your eyes open, and you're acknowledging what the world will show you. Take time to get with yourself, to get right with yourself, and allow Spirit to actually step forward and help you see what you're not knowing. Passion. Where is your true passion? They just keep giving you the same stuff over and over again, honey. If you're not following your passion, you're not following your passion. You're just a sitting duck in water. And that was not even my words. That was theirs. Yeah, they're really not pulling me towards anything else. So apparently that's all they want me to say. I love you, and I believe in you. You have to believe in you. Bye, guys. See you in August.